Imagine trying to build influence around the world, only to find out it's pushing people away. That's what's happening to China right now. A country with grand ambitions, one that wanted to shape the global order, is facing unexpected backlash. Why? And how did things get here? Over the past 2 decades, China has rapidly expanded its global presence. Through massive infrastructure projects like the Belt and Road Initiative, China promised development, jobs, and connectivity to countries across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Billions of dollars were poured into ports, highways, railroads, and energy projects. On paper, it seemed like a win-win. Recipient countries got the investment they desperately needed, and China gained new allies and markets. But beneath the surface, resentment was quietly growing. Many recipient countries began to realize that Chinese loans came with strings attached, high interest rates, opaque terms, and in some cases, the risk of losing strategic assets. Take Sri Lanka, for example. Unable to repay Chinese loans for the Hambantota port, the country ended up handing over control of the port to China on a 99-year lease. This sparked fears of debt trap diplomacy, where economic aid is used as a tool to exert political pressure. At the same time, local populations in many countries started pushing back. In Africa, some communities protested against Chinese-run mining projects that they claimed exploited workers and damaged the environment. In Southeast Asia, fishermen complained about aggressive Chinese activity in disputed waters. Even in Europe, skepticism grew as governments worried about China's increasing control over key infrastructure, such as ports in Greece and Italy. And then came the global pandemic. China's initial handling of COVID-19 led to widespread criticism. Suddenly, nations that had been cozying up to Beijing began rethinking their strategies. Calls for diversifying supply chains and reducing dependence on China gained momentum. Trust was eroding, and fast. Even diplomatically, things weren't going smoothly. China's wolf warrior diplomacy, characterized by aggressive rhetoric and confrontational behavior, did little to win hearts and minds. In fact, it often did the opposite. Many countries began viewing China not as a helpful partner, but as a growing threat. Tensions with the US escalated. Relations with neighbors like India, Japan, and Australia became more strained. The very global influence China was trying to build started turning into global suspicion. Ironically, the harder China tries to shape the world to its liking, the more resistance it seems to face. Ambitions of becoming the dominant global power are clashing with the realities of diplomacy, trust, and reputation. It's not just about money and infrastructure, it's about values, transparency, and mutual respect. And in those areas, China is learning a hard lesson. So where does this leave us? The world is watching closely. Countries are reevaluating their partnerships. Global alliances are shifting. And China is at a crossroads. Will it adapt its approach or double down? Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and join our community for more content like this. And hey, share this with someone who still thinks global power is just about building roads and bridges. Because in today's world, influence isn't just built, it's earned.